Okay, so good to have you guys. In today's video, I want to show you another way of representing colors in CSS. And so we have already looked at using RGB as a way of representing colors in CSS. We also looked at hexadecimal values as a way of representing colors in CSS. So today we're going to use what we call the HSL format. All right, so over here, I'm going to say HSL. I want to comment this out. I'm going to remove this hexadecimal value over here because we're working on the background color of our document. And so we are targeting the body over here and we are targeting the background color. All right, so if we want to represent colors using HSL, we have to use this format. HSL is more of a function. Okay, so HSL and then parentheses. Inside these parentheses, we want to pass in values. So we're going to pass in 3 values. So what are these values? We're going to pass in the U, HUE, and then we also have saturation. And we have the third value, which is going to be the lightness. All right, so these are the values that we need to pass in there. All right, so what is this U? All right, so this U is going to be the actual color that we want to represent. And so if I can bring out this color wheel over here, these are the values that we need to pass in. They're going to be degrees. Okay, so it's going to start from 0 all the way up to 360. And so red is going to be represented by 0 degrees, yellow by 60 degrees, green 120, cyan 180, and so forth, as you guys can see up here. All right, so U is the actual color, but it's going to be represented by what? By degrees. And so if I can pass in 0, that simply means I'm targeting red, right? Red is going to be represented by 0 degrees. If I want some kind of a green, I'll write in 120. If I want some kind of a blue, I'll write in 240, etc. And so currently I want this to be a red color, and so I'm going to pass in a 0. So the value has to be between 0 and 360 degrees, depending on the color that you want. And then obviously we move on to saturation. Saturation is going to be a percentage. So a percentage can be 0 up to 100, right? And so this is going to be the intensity of the U, the color that you are targeting. If you pass in 100%, it means this is going to be the full intensity or the maximum intensity of the color that you have specified here. So this is going to be the maximum intensity of red because we passed in a 0 here. So 100%, we can pass in a 0%. 0% simply means there is 0 intensity of that particular color, which is going to give you a gray color. Okay, instead of giving you this color that you would have specified here. And then last but not least, we are going to target the lightness. Lightness is going to determine how dark or how light your color is going to be. 100% simply means there is maximum light and it's going to be a white color. 0% is there's going to be the lowest level of light, and so it's going to give you a dark color, which is black. And so if you want to strike a balance, you have to pass in 50% like that. This is also going to be a percentage in between 0 and 100. And so you can actually see now we have a red box here. It simply means we have a red color because that's what we specified here. 0 for red, these degrees. So degrees, percent. Okay, so if I save this and run this in the browser, so I can right click anywhere in this document and go down here, open with Live Server. And we can see we have a red background over here because that's what we specified here as the background color. And so now I can play around with the U, right? I can say 120, that's green. And so if I go back, you can see I have a green. 60 is yellow. Yeah, 60 is yellow. If I save that and come back here, you can see I have a yellow, and 240 is blue. So if I'm just playing with one value here, which is the U. Right, if I save this and go back, you can see we have a blue. All right, so I'm going to move on to the saturation. Saturation, we say is the intensity of a given color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this and leave it on 0% and see what happens. So if I save this is going to give me a shade of gray. Okay, so 0% is going to give you some shade of gray. And so if you apply more in intensity, it means, you have this color showing up. And so if I save, now at 50%, you can see the color, but at 100%, it's going to give me the maximum intensity of this particular color. And so this is how saturation works. And then when we move on to lightness, 0 is going to give me a black color. There is no light whatsoever when you pass in a 0. So here is going to be black, but if I pass in 100, maximum light, what do you expect? White, right? And so if I come here, you can see there's a white color. But if I want to strike a balance, no black, no white, I will have to settle with 50. That is the middle. And so we have, the actual color that we want, which is actually blue. If you do have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I do appreciate your support. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so. I will see you in our next tutorial. For now, I'm out. Bye-bye.